All right, what's going on, everybody? So Aiden Ross just hosted his fourth brand risk boxing promotion fight, whatever you should call it, and it was a shit show per usual. But there was one decent storyline that came out of it, if you guys didn't see. And that's the beef between BDave and Ed Matthews. I know they've been going back and forth for a good amount on Twitter now. But BDave fought on brand risk. And overweight BDave fought Vance Randolph, and he got a knockout in round one with an overhand right. Overweight BDave might be cracked. We don't know. I know that BDave isn't the most consistent with his training. Whenever he's not in a fight camp, he's always out partying and having a good time. But he isn't really as active as he used to be when Misfits first started. But it does seem like he's getting back into it, beefing with Ed Matthews. There were some confrontations outside and all of that. There's been some interviews, so we're going to react to all of that. Then we could talk about why the fight makes sense, why it should happen, and why it's such a great style matchup for a fight on Misfits. But real quick, before I get into the video, 94% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you like influencer boxing, or UFC content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel at least, so make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you. Okay, so the first clip we're going to be reacting to is Ed Matthews is on the GOAT Fred Beck's channel. So we're going to go see what he had to say about this BDave fight.
All I was saying is, brother, on the A side, Dave's fighting on the 5th card right now. Dave's washed, bruv. Not like, there's no emotion. What I'm saying is, that's a good fight for him, but for me, I'm looking for bigger opponents than Dave. You know, if enough hype can be created, then cool. It makes sense. And if the paycheck's right, it makes sense. Other than that, it don't make sense for me. But
how does it not make sense?
And I admit, clean knockout here tonight, but that guy is a dosser. He's had no fights. I would clean Dave out. I've been training every single day up until today.
Well, you say you want bigger fights. Who are the people you've got in mind who are bigger than BDave?
Exactly.
Who's on the horizon for yourself?
Exactly, Fred. Good question.
I feel like if I'm doing another event, it needs to be huge. I need to get my get-backs first. Blueface, Pineda.
Blueface is in jail.
Pineda's available.
Yeah. To be honest with you, my cardio, I've been locking in the last 2 months, and I love to get my get-backs, but I want to do, if I'm doing an event, I want it to be huge. Like, I want everything on the line. I want maybe even a bare knuckle with Bryce Hall. Like, do you know, these are the sort of fights I'm talking about.
Okay, that's a bit better.
Bryce Hall could be pretty good.
That would be huge, bro. USA versus the UK, huge fight. I think Bryce is a bit heavier right now. So is Dave.
He's definitely way bigger than you, Ed.
It's not realistic. He's
that's the only problem.
160. Not even 160 right now. Like 155. So there's a big weight difference.
Yes or no?
But would I still knock him out? Yes. I'd clean him out. But yeah, like I said,
The Bryce Hall bare knuckle is probably the one. Especially you could do that in England as well. Imagine that in the UK event.
that is a huge event. BDave, bruv. It's like, unless the paycheck, unless it's serious, then it's like, what's the point?
That's interesting, because I was going to say who the fuck is he going to fight better than a BDave fight, because I think this is their personalities mesh well, and it will be a great, like, their styles clashing would be very entertaining. They're both, like, psychopaths in the ring. But him versus Bryce Hall would be a great fight, but at the same time, like you said, the weight difference, it doesn't make sense. I think he's more skilled than Bryce, but I guess it would be interesting, but I think the weight difference would be too much. But he also says BDave is 180 usually, like he's always walking around with a beer belly. BDave was not in good shape for this fight. He really had the illest beer belly I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know how he got a beer belly like that big that fast. Motherfucker must party and drink all the time. BDave is usually like a 155, 160 pounder, which is around what Ed fights at, like he just said. But, you know, I don't think the Bryce fight is an awful idea, but he claims to be like an A-side, a big name, and no offense to Ed Matthews, but I don't think he's quite at that point yet. I think he's an entertaining figure at Misfits. I don't think him facing Pineda is a great idea right away, because that just didn't go well the first time. And if he really wants that Pineda rematch, him beating BDave would put him right back on track for that, because obviously before BDave and Pineda became a tag team, they had a fight, which BDave also lost, so it would make sense. And I do think that Ed Matthews is overvaluing himself. Not saying that the Bryce Hall fight is impossible, but, you know, he still has some room to grow. I don't blame him, though. Nobody could really blame him for overvaluing himself. You put your health on the line in the ring, so you want to make it worth it, at least in his mind. Okay, so never mind. I'm not able to react to the first clip of them confrontating because there's copyrighted music in the background. Great. So that kind of kills the plans, but it's all right. We can still react to this. Basically, what they were saying in the other clip was B-Dave was saying that Ed Matthews has an ego and he's not as big of a fight as he is, and he's just saying, just accept the fight. You're not bigger than me, basically all that. So let's see what this other interaction is outside. We got the chat in the top left and everything. Let's see. Ooh. Great camera work for a fight, per usual. Can't even see what's going on, bro.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Yo, Florida!
Motherfucker had to put himself on camera. Bro, you can't even see what happened, bro. This is every single fight video in history is never filmed well, bro. It's just motherfuckers get so rambunctious and like he dropped his phone and everything, bro. I don't really know what happened there. But it seems like Ed Matthews like took BDave down of some sorts, and they ended up having a scruffle. Can't really break it down because, like I said, the recording was awful. But hey, man, this is some real beef, some real heat between these two. And like I said, the matchup between their two styles would be so entertaining in the ring. They're both psychos. So this fight needs to happen, and it needs to happen soon. I hope they could get this on the March card, but I don't know because BDave has some weight to lose because it would be probably at 155, 160. So overall thoughts, I like this fight. I think this fight should definitely happen, 1,000,000%. I think Ed Matthews is overvaluing himself. Like I said, I don't necessarily blame him, but at the same time, I think this fight with BDave will be the fight to build him up if he wins. If he's as active as he says he says he's training every day, and BDave has been really just fucking around, I'd probably favor Ed Matthews in the fight, potentially. I think BDave is a little bit better than Ed Matthews. But it's pretty close because they are very similar with how they fight. That's why this fight would be so entertaining. They will both be trying to apply the pressure in swinging hammers. So I think this will be a very good fight. Even like a second or third fight on the March card, I think it would be perfect. Even like fourth if it's a stack card. I think this would be an amazing fight. I think the build-up's going to be great because it's real beef. It's not no fake fabricated shit. They're not like doing some fake shit right now. They really don't like each other. B-Dave doesn't like Ed Matthews' ego. I think Ed Matthews just doesn't like B-Dave in general. He doesn't think that B-Dave is on his level of name. In my opinion, they're probably about the same. B-Dave is probably one of my favorite Misfits fighters in general because he's funny. And like I said, he just goes in and scraps. Same thing with Ed Matthews, though. And they both had the balls to step in with Pineda. I know Pineda's memed and all that, but he's an actual pro boxer. He earned his pro ranking, not like some of these influencers. He did actually become pro. And it shows because he's better than these influencers. He's just not a great pro boxer. It just shows the levels. And they both had the balls to step in with him. Both didn't go very well, but they still took the fight. And I think even B-Dave took it on short notice or something like that. So let's hope that Mams Taylor offers these people a good amount of money for this fight. For Ed Matthews to actually say yes to this fight because he seems like he's holding his end to a bargain at least a little bit. I'm sure Mams sees the hype of this fight and he would pay a little bit extra for it. Because I do think it's worth it, especially how the fight's going to be in the ring. But it seems like the build-up is also going to be equally as entertaining. So let's see this fucking fight, man. Let's make it happen. So that's all I had to talk about today. Let me know what you guys think about this matchup down below in the comments. If you think it should happen, if it shouldn't happen, all that. I was going to talk about the overall brand risk card today, but honestly, it just wasn't good. I'm not a fan of Aiden Ross doing this thing in the first place. That could be a video, but I just don't feel like he's professional. I just don't like... The thing with Misfits is they do like chaos sometimes, but there's skill mixed in because these influencers have been around for so long. Of course, there's fights like Afghan Den versus Lil T still. But that's like all of brand risk promotions. Aiden Ross doesn't want technical boxing. He doesn't want good matchups. He just wants chaos. And I'm just not a fan of it, to be honest. I'm not a fan of Aiden Ross in general. He is not the person to host this. He's awful at hosting the face-offs too. I just don't think Aiden Ross should be like an owner of anything. Because he's shown in his past that he will do scummy things. He will hold his money over his viewers' heads to do dumb stuff. And that's kind of what he's doing with this boxing promotion. He has people like Vex Bolts and shit like that fighting. Nobody cares about those fights. It's just like his immature chat that finds that shit like entertaining, bro. Misfits It's getting to a point where it's the middle ground of skill and influence. And I think they're getting to a perfect spot right now. Of course, like I said, there's still fights like Afghan Gan versus Lil T. But it's getting really good with Misfits. So him doing brand risk at this point, there's no point. And he's not going to improve it much. I don't see it. I don't see him improving it much at all. One thing I could take away from the brand risk promotions is Dean hasn't been looking as good as he has recently. He was struggling a little bit versus Pulley, and I don't know if it was like the big gloves. I know he said even after that it was a shit performance on his part. It's because your ass decided to trust Aiden Ross to put on a good event wearing those big-ass gloves fighting Pulley instead of just fighting Lil Cray Cray, which they had a whole tournament for them to face you, but you faced Pulley instead, who you already fought, saying that you want bigger fights. That is not a bigger fight than Lil Cray Cray at all. You say, who's Lil Cray Cray? But a lot of people say, who's Pulley? I love Pulley. I think he's hilarious. But he's not a bigger name than Lil Cray Cray by that much, if he even is. So I don't understand this shit. Just fight Lil Cray Cray. You shouldn't even be fighting on anything but Misfits because nothing good came out of that besides a win in the column. That was not a great fight at all. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you like videos like this and you want to see more. Don't trust the algorithm to have my videos pop up. Subscribe. I'll probably rant about these storylines on a different video, but for now, thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you, and peace out. Yeah. Telling me move on, I'm telling her back, now she proved wrong, she feeling regret, got my new bitch, I'm getting her wet, got that new phone, I shoot at the back, I don't do fun, so show me respect, I might move home, I go for the neck, because yo man, Louis just bones, yeah you love him, but you hit on my phone, if you came here, I'm hitting it prone, you can't take this. I hit like a pro. Ho, ho, yeah.